Everybody, welcome to October. Today's date is what is it? Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Hey, good morning, Daryl. How you doing? Jeffrey, Jim, Thomas. Let's see here. Tommy, Joe, good morning. Alan, Julie, good morning. Sunny, good morning. Gold, Sharon, good morning, everybody. Hey, Roger, Raleigh, Roasted, Sunny. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dave. How's everybody doing? It looks like our government shut down. I, you know, what do you, I don't know. Let's don't even talk about that. I just, I think that's insane. Hey, something before we get started here. I want to remind everybody that BYOB, that's one of our we have three services here: Hit and Run Candlesticks, we have Right Way Options, and we have BYOB Day Trading. And they have a open house this coming Monday, October 6th. Okay, so registration is required. So anybody listening, please register for that. You'll find the registration link all over the place. It'll, check your email. It'll be on social media. But yeah, register for that and see what John's got to say and do and show. All right. I also want to remind members of Hit and Run Candlesticks, Right Way Options, and BYOB that tomorrow we have our not open house. We have a member e-learning that goes on, and it runs about 3 hours. So you get an hour from myself, an hour from Doug, and an hour from John. And maybe 55 minutes, a little break in there. Okay. Please join in. It is recorded for members. But so you members out there, anybody that's on a trial, you're considered a member. So check that out tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the market. All right. Number one is let's not panic. That's one of the worst things to do, is to panic. And if you're a day trader, you keep on doing what you're doing. If you're a swing trader, don't get excited, don't panic and jump to 5-minute charts thinking that you're gonna whip this dog into the ground. It's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. So if the market was to pop up a little bit, don't get too excited. If the market's going to pop down a little bit, don't get too excited. Like I say, I see this a lot where, people that don't typically day trade, they don't quite understand what day trading is all about necessarily. And they're sitting here looking at a position they own. It may be down. Something pops up on, the exciting news of the government shutting down, or it pops down, I guess, maybe. So they start chasing things around. Don't do that. Take a breath, have another cup of coffee or water in my case. Have a Coke, smoke a doobie, do whatever you got to do, but don't panic. Have some patience. Follow the trend, and as of right now, let's take a look here. Price pre-market is just so close, but it is above the T line. T line is above the trend indicator. That remains to the bullish side as of, right this second, looking at the chart here. We close, or we start moving below the T line. That'll give me concern. One thing we want to be careful of is we do have a little bit of a downtrend working here. We have a whole lot of uptrend working, but a little bit of downtrend. So we do have to watch that. Target, I still believe the market comes up into the 670, 674 range. I still believe that. We're just going through a little bit of a rough time. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say more about that. We're just going through a little bit of rough time right now. This too will pass. This too will pass. Qs are doing okay. They're still hanging in there. Diamonds are, they're just kind of him-hawing around. They're not doing too much, so they're kind of quiet. But overall, they're not failing. IWM, you can see that this morning I feel kind of my whole attitude about this morning is, oh hum. It's sad to me that things like this have to happen, but and it affects the market. Why it affects the market, I have no idea, because you, me, and the entire world knows that it won't last. And that's a fact. And it will pass. And everything will be fine. We'll go on trading, we'll go on eating, we'll go on buying houses, selling houses, going for drives, things like that. Life will go on. All right, with that said, I'll quit my whining here. Maybe. T2123 is, let's get back to that hourly chart. You can see that it came up a little bit at the end of the day, but it's not quite bullish. VXX is the tool I use for watching the VIX. And overall, it's in a downtrend here. It's put in a little bit of bottom. It's trying to come up, but you can see here there's no real fear in the market. That's because real men and women know that this is an absolute joke. Oh, I did it again. I'm sorry. Ridiculous is what it is. But there's no fear at all. So with that said, let's look at some charts. Maybe that'll perk me up a little bit. I'm just gonna run from a watch list. I've had some people ask lately, since we don't have the scanner any longer, how am I using TC 2000 to find stocks? And we simply build scans, and that's what each one of these columns are. Right now, I've got it set on a 3/8 trap right here. So I just have to click this scan, and let's just take a look. There's Riot. Riot is set up and a nice little 3/8 trap. It's doing just what it should be doing. We have a nice trend here. The green trend is working, the trend indicator. Price is above the T-line. T-line's above the trend indicator. All that's working perfect. Right now, we're unfortunately, I have to move this, or when I click on it, it'll go behind there. Right now we're working on getting through that 38.2 line right here, heading to the 50% rebound area around 25. And that's where I think we're headed up here. So if you're holding this, hey, that looks great. If you're looking to buy it, then you have to think about your entry rules. What are your rules? Set your plan up. Make sure your stop is in there. Always have something for a stop. Look, you may not put a hard stop in there, but you've got to have something here that says, well, okay, this is not working. Maybe it's a cross down back below the T-line there, or the 8 EMA. Maybe it's a cross down below the green dot, the trend indicator. Maybe it's a cross down, over some candle action here, say right about there. We're looking at that candle action. Here's a high, or touch, a touch, almost a touch. Below 1810 would tell me that, okay, this thing is just not ready to go up. So maybe that's where your stop is. And again, whether you put a hard stop or a mental stop, that's up to you. And then your target, take profits on the way up. Something I always keep in mind as I'm trading that, the road to wealth account, the goal being to double it, is I'm always watching to take profits, not necessarily hold. And in fact, I hardly ever do. Buy here and hold all the way up there for what would that be? 25% profit on the stock trade. I rarely do that. I'm always looking to take profits, because it's those little gains you put in the pot. We call them goals, and that's what helps you grow to get to that end goal of doubling your account. I find that much better than just holding out, because holding out for that top, it actually may not get there. So that's one thing about stock trading. Hey, good morning, Coach. I see you over there. Rick, good morning. Um, Anta, good morning. Vernon, good morning. Thank you for logging in on our social media. Appreciate that. So Riot is looking pretty good. D-Dog, take a look at D-Dog here. Look at D-Dog. I'm going to do a couple of these, and then I'll slide this back over, and you can see that I'm not necessarily cherry picking anything. I'm just simply looking at the scan we've got going on. A nice little 3/8 trap. That looks really good. Check out O'Reilly. Look at O'Reilly. See these charts? I think these are beautifully set up. Um, and this is a, I mean, I don't trade a whole lot of different types of setups, mostly just up and a pullback, and then looking for um, the um, the buyers to step in, a reason to actually buy. Trading, you can complicate trading. You don't need to. It can be pretty simple. I think I've got it down where it's pretty simple. I truly do. Look at Tesla here. Um, I've been asked a lot about Tesla this past week, people emailing me and asking about it, long or short. And I know there's some people short, and the people I talk to, not all of them, but there are some, they're shorting Tesla because they really have it's personal for them. They think Elon is a fill in the blank. And I tell them, why do you care? Why are you making this personal? You've never met the guy. You don't know. Some people think that Tesla cars are jokes. Why do you care? You don't own one. What's the big deal? Stop being personal about it. Don't be personal about anything. When we come to trade, it's all about the charts, not personal. Um, don't trade it if it's personal. But anyway, there's been a bit of a chatter, short, long, and I put these orange lines up here the other day. Let me change this to, there we go. And basically, if we get below that long, that is telling us to possibly look at a short. We still need, the setup, but that would actually put us in the setup, I think, to be short. If we break out of that line, that actually sets us up to be long. So this is one of these cases which I think is probably true in most cases. We need the market or the chart to tell us what to do. And if, something like this, here, let me put another, my mouse is moving real slow today. So let's say we get below that red line there. So if we were to do this, isn't it giving you a clue? We're not trying to guess what the clue is. That's not the job of trading. Not in my book, okay? Our job is not to guess what the clue is. Our job is to read the clue and trade accordingly. So, if the clue is this, again, our job is not necessarily to predict the clue. Our job is to trade the clue like this. So allow it to point the direction. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Point the direction. ZS, look at ZS here. Nice little 3/8 trap. And everything all stays the same for me. Price above the T line above the trend indicator. Don't get me wrong. There are times that I buy things like in this area. Absolutely. There's times I buy in breakouts. Absolutely. My world of trading would be in this area right there. That line might be a little high, but the low right in there. That's my world right in there. And that's where I look to trade. And ZS is setting up. Take a look at PLTR. Look at that. PLTR setting up. Now I can, yesterday I bought PTIR. Let me try that again. PTIR. That's a single stock ETF for PTLR. Bought it in the Road to Wealth account. Looking for that breakout. Targets up here of about 34 and then near 36 up here. So that's, right now that's shaping up pretty good. Let's take a look at this right here. This is a nice chart. Again, I apologize. My mouse is, I've got a lot open this morning, pushing, I guess. Take a look at this OHI. What a gorgeous chart. Coach, one of our members, is in this, making good money with the chart and dividends on it. Nice job, Coach. Look at that. See how we have this nice long trend up, and then we pull back. You get the red dots showing us it's a short if you want to short it, definitely. Short here to the 50. And then you can see us bouncing off the 50. You see us turning up. I mean, that's all clues. That's all pointing in the direction it's going to go. And when a stock points in the direction, it's pointing, let's say there's, maybe there's where it's pointing to. Now, it may be pointing to that direction, but it can stumble like a drunken monkey. All right. Stocks just don't go in straight lines. So while it's pointing up here, it, wobbles like a drunken monkey, or like I might wobble. So, keep that in mind when you're trading here. Let's do this. I'm going to bring this over real quick so you guys can see. I mean, I just went right down this line right here. That's all I did. Went down that line. So there's some stocks that I think are looking pretty good out there. Let me fix everything here. Sorry. All right. Let's see. IBIT. Yeah, look at IBIT here. I mean, that is setting up beautifully. I don't know why it's not on my list, but I'm going to flag it. Here we are coming back up over the 50-period moving average, breaking out of that trend line. This has got bullishness written all over it. So remember, what is it pointing to? So it's pointing to a higher number. A swing is what we would be looking for. Just remember, it might wobble around a little bit. Sometimes, well, here, let's draw this on there. So let's say it's pointing to something like that, all right? So as we come up, it might wobble a little bit, come back. Well, that just might be a nice entry point. Swing back up and then come back. That might be a nice entry point, up here. And these peaks up here, they might be nice target areas, place to take some profits off. Or, if you're buying and holding it a bit, just make sure you raise that stop in there. This reminds me of ETHA. I need to show you this one. Take a look at this. ETHA, that is coming up on my scans. I know a lot of people are watching this and looking at it. We can draw a trend line here. We probably ought to definitely pay attention to that. But that might be where we're pointing to right now. Watch for that breakout. It could be a big money maker here, bouncing off that 50-period moving average. It might get a nice swing in there, okay? Hey, Bell, you're looking at ATOM. Let's take a look here. Wow. Talking about a nice chart. This is a rounded bottom breakout here. This is one of my favorite chart setups. And it's just simply, where you get price that has been in a downtrend back over the 50-period moving average. And we're looking for it to retrace back up toward the 200. I say the word here is toward. It doesn't necessarily get there. Not all charts get there. But if you go back and look at history of this chart and all charts, actually, you'll see how price will move up and down in either a downward direction or an upward direction. And when we're oversold like this, to me, this is a big oversold chart, that it tends to run up or try to run up toward that 50-period moving average. So very nice chart here. Really, really nice. So I'm going to put another line right here at what we call the dotted deuce. It's a modified 200-period moving average. And we've already tested it once right here. This time it may break out. Once we stabilize up here, I think that $6 range to 200 period moving average is a very good target there. So super chart. It's a buy right in here. That's an excellent chart. Let's flag that. Nice fine bell. Thank you for bringing it to all of us. VLSR. Wow. You know, a trending chart will stay trending until it's no longer trending. And I it's just really that simple. So where are we pointing to? Well, the green dots mean the world to me, or the red dots. They also mean the world to me. They tell me where the chart's pointing to. So if I'm going to take this low and just follow the green dots. And mostly, I mean, sometimes you can follow every one of them, but I'm going to go from that low to the very last dot that's shown and just extend this. Well, that's where we're pointing to. And I don't mean $7.75. It's pointing to an upward move here. Okay. That's where it's pointing to. So while it's pointing up there, remember price does this. This goes up and down while it continues to go up until it stops going up. Trading is not that difficult. Yeah, trading is just not that difficult. So we've got a nice inside day working here. Inside days are typically buys, unless they're too far away from the T line. Then I tend to shy from that. But great looking chart. Looks beautiful. If you're in it, rock, man. Nice. Hey, John, is that TC 2000 watch just set up for us from you? Absolutely. Let's get the market open. Let me get the live turned off, and nothing against the live, guys. It's just my mouse, a lot I can't do right now. But I will absolutely post that out there, John. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Hey, Daryl, BTBR, BTDR. Let's take a look at that. Oops. BTDR. There we go. BTDR is pointing up. We're moving up here on price. I'm kind of a worrywart when it comes to candles like this. When I see them this close to the left, I'm a little bit of a worrywart on that. So what I'm going to have to do is put a line up here, and above that 18 is what I would look as a buy. I think we're setting up very nice. I think the trend is pointing upward. But when you look at all the possible charts out there to trade, I wonder if there are charts out there that don't cause me to be a worrywart. And that candle right there causes that. So maybe there's charts out there that look a little better that might be worth trading, maybe not have to work so hard to get up. With that said, I mean, overall, that's a nice looking chart. Take a look at the weekly. Weekly is looking fantastic. You move up here, you're going to, we start to break out. We're going to start to get into a little bit of problems here and there. Price is going to have to break through a few barriers, but overall, nice trending chart. Took Merck. You bought some Merck yesterday. Way to go. Long and got out before the market closed. Nice. I mean, if you made some money, we're raring to go. Merck, Merck is looking good. Is Merck going to go higher? It will if the adrenaline keeps going. Okay, but I have to wonder if all the pharmacy chatter yesterday, if that adrenaline is going to stay, or is it going to just peter out? So if Merck is going to be bullish, seriously, over the 200 period moving average, there's tons of room for it to be bullish. So maybe let some of the adrenaline drain, and then it might be a nice deal. Yeah, you're right. I see what Coach. Yeah, Merck can too. PFE is probably the one I'm looking at if I'm looking at any of them. But I've got PFE set up, and PFE, you see this top here, and this is where I think patience is required. D- FOMO, 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 fear of missing out, is a horrible, horrible disease for a trader. It is a terrible disease for a trader. And that's what happens on things like this, FOMO. Oh my God, I got to get in and hurry up, when I know damn good and well, and so does every trader here, that this stock is going to pull back. Every trader here knows it. But you know what? That disease will get the best of you, and you will jump into this, and then you're going to have to fight the pullback. So why not be smarter than that? Go down to Walgreens, and I think on the third aisle to the right, it's about eye level. There's some cream for this. Put the cream on and stop trading FOMO, and just be patient. Let the chart set up for you now. Let it work for you. See, I'm looking at this top right here and thinking, you know what? I don't need to get involved with this right now. And I don't typically trade stocks like what happened yesterday. I look, if somebody's after, if you're trading and you're looking for hotshot speed trades, I'm not the guy for you. Okay, I'm telling you right now. I don't chase speed trading. I don't do that. Um, but I certainly pay attention to what happened yesterday, and then wait for the setup, and then my trade would be up here, right in that area. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a buy that breaks out here, and then, whoops, I didn't mean to grab that. Breaks out here, runs up to this 8 or 29 area, and then up here to the 50% um, um, retracement area, back up to near $30. That's the trade I'm looking for. So anyway, yeah, PFE is looking good. A lot of those drug companies, but let's just wait and see if some of this hype settles down a little bit, just a little bit. Hey Vernon, you're looking at Twillo, TWLO. Let's take a peek. Twillo, short. Yeah. Let me get rid of all this. I'm gonna move over to my other chart as well. Yeah, Twillo might be looking short. It's also below the cloud, and that would be for, that's something I'm gonna look at for the short side, especially. And gap down, we're failing up here, still looks short, and there's still plenty room for this to move down. Retest these lows. That's about 5-6% away. So, yeah, I would say that that's looking short right now. Absolutely. Thank you for that one. A, B, and B. A, B, yeah. I'm going to get rid of those lines up there. Let's go take a look at the weekly chart. Look at that weekly chart. And now let's draw a line on it. I was looking at A, B, and B for a possible short myself. And that's why I knew this was here on the weekly. Just look at that. And here, see here, we've broken down. You can see the downtrend working. Now, the thing about A, B, and B, I think we need to watch this area right through here. So that would be my target right now. So just target trading, maybe look for something at 14% perhaps. Remember to take profits on the way down, okay? Let's see. Hey Neil, silver and gold already extended. Maybe TLT would be a trade. Yeah, you know what? Silver and gold, they are extended. I agree with you. But they're a different animal. Okay. First of all, any stock that is extended can stay extended for a long, long time, and the price continue to go up. And gold and silver, they're a different animal completely. They don't necessarily play by they're extended rules, or they're not. They're kind of they're a different animal. So you're looking at TLT might be a trade, I'm guessing, to the long side. And I would say yes, but I think we need to get over that line, wouldn't you? Wouldn't that make sense right in there? So I guess the choice, and let's do this. See how we've turned to green here? So a trader has a couple of choices, and choices are really simple. They really, really are. Um, I mean, if you believe in this chart, the 50 period moving is rising. It's about to make a golden cross here. So I get the whole thing, what you're looking at. I like it. It looks good. So your choice as a trader is to simply buy in here or wait till it breaks out, just like that. Some traders are probably going to wait till it moves over this area here. So that's your big decision. And then, make sure you have set your trade up. So put that stop in there. Do you have targets or just simply trade from the seat of your pants? And hey, I trade from the seat of my pants sometimes. So target wise, just looking at some straight lines, I'm going to go back and look at uh, that body right there. And really, let's put a line right in here. Just all in here could be a target, right? All in there. All in there is pretty messy. So that could be a target. So yeah, I'm with you on TLT. I'm with you on that. It's just a matter of where you're going to buy it. That's the big question there. Okay. Um, what do we got moving here? Anything? No, nothing I see. Okay. Hey, Daryl, one more, and then I'll have to get going. Mac, Daryl's looking at it on the weekly. I'm going to start with the daily. I love it on the daily. That looks very good. Nice pop up, and we're just moving sideways. Take a look at that weekly, and you're right. See how we move up on the weekly? We're above the 50 period moving average. If it could manage to push that trend indicator above the 50, boy, you'll have a sweet chart, I think, there. All right. I want to thank everybody for being here. Remember, John, BYOB Trading has an open house this coming Monday. Members, remember that we have our member e-learning here tomorrow. If anyone would like to become a member, you can just simply, a member of Hit Run Can or a trial member, Hit Run Candlesticks Right Way Options or BYOB Trading. Members, I'll see you in the room in about 25 minutes. Okay. You guys take care. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.